Hello everybody and welcome to Tim's Offgrid. So we get asked a lot, so what do we do when it's raining? How do we get our fire started? I don't have any tinder or kindling. Well, this morning we're going to prove that you can or you can't get your fire going with minimal effort and minimal, let's say, fire starting techniques when it's raining, when everything is fully saturated. So look, this is really wet, to the point that there is some water in the bucket from where I gathered this. It's pouring rain outside Saturday morning. So let's get started. There's going to be a few things different about starting a fire like this. So as I get my tinder and kindling out, we break it into the pieces. Now you notice when you hear me break it like that, it's very, it gives that distinct sound. So you can tell it's dead, very dead. We're looking to see how dry it is inside. All right, it may not be immediately dry as you're in there looking. You can see right here our bark is wet. This is wet, this is wet, but look right in there. All that is dry. That's what we're looking for. That's where we're going to get our fire from, in terms of the fuel for our fire, that is. All right, so that's what we're going to start working with. So I'm going to start breaking some of these pieces off, and we're going to be forming them towards the center, so they're all pointing towards the same direction, because I need that stuff to catch fire. So now I'm breaking these sticks off, and you hear that when that one broke off right there. That is what we're looking for. I'm not looking for stuff to go and no snap. All right, that's still green. So remember, we're looking for this really dead dry stuff. All right, same thing when I look in here. So again, I'm getting all these points pointed towards the same location because I need that stuff to catch on. All right, so that's what we're looking for right now. I'm breaking all these points off. I'm going to get this stuff right there in the fire pit. In our case here, it's the wood stove, because it's a little tough to get out there in the fire pit right now. We'd be in standing water in every one of the fire pits that I have, and it just wouldn't work out. And look, some of these pieces are just fully saturated. It's probably because this was closer to the end. I'm not going to put that in there. But oh yeah, that's good right there. But look, even better is if you could get in here and you could tear some of this stuff apart and get even more of that dry stuff. I'm not going to rip a fingernail off doing it, but you catch my drift here. So that's what we're working on right now. I'm trying to get every dry piece coming out, pointing towards the same place. But look, I'm keeping all these short right now because I'm really just focusing on getting the dry parts, and I will zoom in there to show you what that's starting to look like. So if you see that right there, all of that is dry parts of that wood. So it's looking really good, actually. I'm feeling pretty pumped about this. I think it's going to really work out. So we're about to find out. So again, I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm getting us some dry pieces right there. Getting all this facing towards the same thing. Obviously, as these dry pieces, they catch on and start burning. What's wet will steam off. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. But I like the sound of this as it's breaking off, all right? So again, I'm just going to keep breaking these pieces and stacking them on top of each other toward the end right there. Even better when I can get some pieces ripping off and getting the dry pieces on there. So it gets pretty stressful if you're in an environment, it's pouring down rain, you're in a survival situation, and everything's wet. So how would we do this different if we were outside right now? Well, probably you'd have a tarp with you, or you'd have a ground cover, probably because you had your tent. So whether your tarp, your ground cover, or your own poncho, something's going to have to make some type of overlay for you so that you can build this fire setup underneath that overlay, because you've got to divert the downpour of the rain, because it's one thing for us to rip this open and get all these dry pieces exposed like that. It's another that we immediately let them just get soaked with the rain that's coming down. All right, so you need some type of cover if we were outside in a survival situation. And look how dry. This is an excellent piece right here. We just created some awesome tinder right there when we rip that piece up. So we've got awesome stuff to work with. And you saw what we started with. Everything was soaking wet. All right, I think we mess around with that. All right, our next step is we're gonna take our cotton balls and our Vaseline. And I've got 3 of them that I've got prepped up here. So I'm gonna place them right at these dry ends of these pieces of wood. We need the cotton ball and Vaseline to be our fire starter today to really help get this fire started and get things going. This is going to be one of those fires you're going to have to keep an eye on too, because it's not going to start out like your normal fire, because things are a bit wet and we can only get the ends going at first. So I'm going to zoom back in there and show you what cotton balls and Vaseline look like in there. So just kind of wad it up in there. All right, we're going to come back out. Well, we're going to stay in there, so I'm going to show you as I hit it with the flint and steel how we get this started. So here we go. Just one strike. That was it. You saw how easy it was to get that going. Now, like I said, we're going to tend to this fire. We're going to watch this. I'm going to get ready with probably some more broken pieces and try to find some really good dry pieces. And I may even start to lay from the opposite way as well. And see, even this one piece I just got, I got it tore off and got pretty good dry pieces on both sides of it. So that's what I'm going to focus on right now. Can I get some good dry pieces out of some of this? I'm going to lay those right up in there. What we're looking for right now is that it's not just cotton balls and Vaseline are burning, that we can get some of this wood going. And again, you break this wood open, and if you can get it and you can peel it like this, then I can really get to some of the dry pieces of it. All right, I lay those up in there. The biggest thing is you got to try things and try again. If one method doesn't work, don't give up. Try a different way. Try a few different times. Don't just try it once and say, yeah, I can't start a fire with wet wood. It's impossible. I'm moving on. Hey, don't give up. So like I said, I'm going to try to get this going in a couple directions now to give us a greater chance that we're going to get pieces of wood caught up and get things in there dry. All right, so I'm going to back out just a little bit because we zoomed in so you can kind of see how that was going. So let me just back up just a little bit. All right, and like I said, you really want to keep your eye on this one here. This won't be your traditional fire that you just set it, forget it, and come back and feed it some more. It's going to be a tough one. All right, as you can tell now, we're getting somewhere with a fire. So I've been adding more dry pieces in here, trying to get a good bed of coals or embers so that we can just keep adding more and more. And it is at the point where it does respond very well to oxygen when you blow on it. So I'm going to give you a demonstration. Well, dang, maybe I don't need to give you a demonstration, but all right, so there's your demonstration of that. So that's telling us now that we can put more dry pieces in here. And I've been shaving some with my Gerber, my dig it tool, as we call it in the Navy, and just trying to go more and more. So look, this is the gist of it. We got you in a good position here where you can start with nothing but wet firewood, and you'll see how this firewood is drying out over time as you look in here and take a look at it. If we keep taking a pocket knife and shaving on some of these as we break them open and get to the dry pieces, we keep adding those in there, we will get a really good fire going. And once you have that good bed of coals in there, it's going to be easier to work on. And see, right now the flame went out, but look. The fire's responding really well. So look, I'd say this is a complete success. Appreciate it if y'all would share what we're doing on the channel. I'm trying to grow that subscriber base. Please like. Please also share what you're seeing with others and help them see what we're doing here. If you have other ideas you want us to try out, send them my way. and we'll incorporate them into the mix. So hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend. Enjoyed it. Thanks, everybody. See ya.